Yo, what is good YouTube? Dubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some more breaking news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here in Miami, but this time it's a little bit different because the Falcons actually joined them in a joint practice, and this was a very intriguing day. We saw a lot of ups, we saw a lot of downs from a lot of different players, and in this video we're primarily going to go over a bunch of the guys who look good, but also some guys who looked actually really bad throughout the first day of their joint practices. Now we have another day coming tomorrow, which I will be covering, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. However, before we jump into this specific video, make sure you guys do me a big favor and smash that like button just so we can help this video get out to more Falcons and Dolphins fans around the world. But also subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications because I will be covering the entirety of the offseason, which includes free agency, the trades, training camp, preseason, regular season, as well as live streaming games. I'll be streaming a ton of Dolphins games, Falcons games throughout the season and preseason, so make sure you guys join the family. But without any further ado, let's talk about what happened in this day. Now, I want to talk about Tyreek Hill. The man looked insane, and it's nothing new. He's always looked insane. He's always been incredible. He's always been locked and loaded and always burning people deep. But again, he looked insane during practice with the Falcons. That was just one thing I took note of. Nothing too big because, he's been just amazing throughout his career so far, and it's just, we've seen it, and he's continued to do so. So that is something to take note. And then another big type of thing I took note of, Tua, man, Tua did not have the best day in the world. It was clear one-on-ones. He had a couple of misfires. He did connect with Braylon Sanders on a perfect deep ball over A.J. Terrell, so that was very interesting. But overall, I feel like Tua actually had a pretty rough day one with joint practices with the Falcons. He, also threw the ball behind Jalen Waddle in 7-on-7s. And then there were some other plays during 11-on-11s where I was just like, damn, Tua just doesn't seem amazing today. I mean, he was okay. He wasn't terrible by any means, but I think unofficially he was around 13 of 21, 131 yards, had a bad pick in team drills. An interception went to Troy Anderson, who's one of their linebackers for Atlanta. So, it wasn't the best day in the world. And, that interception that was thrown to Anderson probably, and I'm not going to say for sure, but it looked like it would have been a pick six, so that was something to take note of. But overall, Tua did struggle, but I think that he can bounce back in tomorrow's practice or today's practice as I'm recording this video. So we'll see how that goes. Even the reserves had a bad day, so you know what? Credit to the Falcons defense, man. The Falcons defense did a great job shutting out their quarterbacks. Mike White, Skylar, Thompson, and Tua all had pretty rough days for the quarterback position for Miami, so I definitely took note of that. I want to give a big shout out to all the Falcons players on defense, man. You had guys all over the field like, A.J. Terrell and Richie Grant and Jesse Bates, Troy Anderson, just making big-time plays. Calais Campbell back off the NFI list, so he's ready to go. David Onyemata. I mean, this team is good, man. I think the Falcons are a very slept-on team, and if you're a Dolphins fan wondering, like, damn, we really just had the Falcons defense beat us bad, I wouldn't even think that because, like I said, the Falcons defense is extremely underrated, so I wouldn't be too nervous about that right now. We also saw, a Falcons player in Clark Phillips, man. Tough break for Clark Phillips. He's been absolutely breaking out throughout the entirety of the offseason, and then an injury happens, and he gets carted off the field, and there's x-rays that's going to be needed. So sucks, man. Sucks for the Falcons. Then you have Braylon Sanders, the guy who caught the one good pass from Tua. He's also got injured. I think he had to get carted off the field as well. So, he was fourth string, but still, you don't like when when a player gets injured. So hopefully he is okay. We saw Liam Eichenberg. He looks like he has the early lead over Isaiah Wynn for the starting left guard position. The Dolphins listed River Craycraft as a second string wide receiver. So that was interesting, ahead of Braxton Berrios and Robbie Anderson. So that was definitely something you guys should take note of. And then Christian Wilkins was listed as a defensive end. So maybe he maybe dropped some weight, or they just want to play him in a different kind of setting. So that was interesting. But overall, I think it was a very I don't want to say rusty practice. I just want to say I think the Falcons did a good job on defense. I think the Dolphins did a good job on their defensive possessions. So overall, I think it was a solid day for both defenses. I think both teams are trying to improve, trying to get better here. And I think this is a good start. I think these joint practices are actually very important in order to do so. But overall, a good day. Both good teams. Both teams that I think could mostly or maybe make the playoffs. I think the Dolphins are definitely one of the best teams in their division. And then for the Falcons, I think they might be one of the most improved teams in the entirety of the NFL. Now, will they make playoffs? I'm not too sure, but I think they have a really good record next year, or a pretty good record compared to last season. So, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we go live for a game, every time we post a video. Make sure you guys are here. But also, comment down below a player that you see or you're excited to see throughout preseason games, whether it be a rookie or a second-year player, a veteran, or maybe someone who just joined the team this season as a fresh body, a fresh face that came in here to either the Dolphins or the Falcons. Let me know what you guys think. Who's someone you think could break out this season for both these teams? And also, subscribe to the channel. Check out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. If you guys play fantasy football but hate going through the start-sit decisions, those suck. If you want to just have stress-free fantasy football games and weeks, and this is the place to be. Underdog Fantasy. Check out this next little segment. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.